Hey Canucks fans, the trade that we've been waiting for has finally dropped. Luke Schenn, now a member of the Toronto Maple Leafs. I'm Canuck Clay, and this is my Canucks take all in one take. It's Clay's Canucks commentary for Tuesday, February the 28th. If you're new, here's what you should do. Hit the subscribe button now for daily Canucks insight that's positive, timely, and trustworthy. Thanks to everyone who joined me for 1, 2, or 3 shows last night. They're all on YouTube. Game Over Vancouver with Scott Rintoul, Canucks After Dark with Parker's Pucks, and of course my own show that I did to end off the night. And tonight I'll do it again, 11 o'clock, right here on YouTube. I hope you can join me. And guess what we'll be talking about? So Luke Schenn has missed 4 games for the Canucks. He was pulled from the recent road trip early last week, and it was for obviously trade-related reasons. And there was a lot of speculation about Schenn, not just if he would be traded, because him and his wife are expecting a child later this week, and the ramifications of that. Then there was, what are you going to get for him? Is there a chance that he might re-sign with us? If the offer is too low, then do even bother making that trade and just kind of trying to negotiate an extension? Do the Canucks even want to do that? Do they want his leadership? How well does he support and play with and complement Quinn Hughes? All these things. But this is kind of the things that we've been talking about for the past week as we've been waiting for this deal, as he sits and he watches a team full of Bovenlander, Breezeball, Burrows, and Juleson take the ice. But the waiting is done. Toronto Maple Leafs making some moves. Early in the day, they moved Sandin for Gustafsson. Then they moved Engvall for a third-round pick. And apparently, that's the third to the Islanders. And apparently, that's the third-round pick that we are getting. So the full trade is Luke Schenn going from the Canucks to the Maple Leafs. And in return, the Canucks received the Maple Leafs third-round pick in this year's draft. So what do you guys think of the term overall? Not the term, the return, I should say. Right when the Luke Schenn rumor started, we knew that there are 3 UFAs that the Canucks had, and one was Bo Horvat, and he obviously got traded to the Islanders. One was Andrei Kuzmenko, who was signed to a 2-year extension, and there was one. The third one was Luke Schenn. And then we always make the point, well, yeah, he's like a top pairing guy on this team because he's better than Myers, especially for the money. And he basically is a great partner for Quinn Hughes. And if Quinn Hughes is your number 1 left side D, then by default, Schenn is your number 1 right side D. But then we would say, but on a contending team like a Toronto or Tampa or a Boston or Carolina, he's not a top pairing D. He's not even a second pairing D. Luke Schenn is likely a third pairing D, or even maybe insurance. Maybe the extra defenseman, the 7th defenseman, who will then support and complement a really strong team as they make a deep run into the playoffs. So we'll see where he shakes out. Well, we got to see kind of what Toronto ends up doing and how they finally how all the pieces settle by the end of Friday's trade deadline. But I expect to see Schenn to see regular minutes there and to be a part of a third pair there in Toronto. Now, he's played in Toronto. Toronto was the team that drafted him way back in 2008. And do you guys remember that Luke Schenn was a 5th overall pick? That's Elias Pettersson territory. So he's a 5th overall pick in 2008, drafted by the Maple Leafs. He did basically 4 seasons in Toronto, then did 4 in Philly, then 1 in LA, 2 in Arizona, 1 in Anaheim, 1 in Vancouver, 2 in Tampa, and 2 in Vancouver. So add that up. That's about 7 or 8 teams that Schenn's already played for. And he is a UFA at the end of the season. He is a UFA July 1st. So whether he re-signs with Toronto, whether he re-signs with Vancouver, I know a lot of people are hoping for that, or maybe he goes somewhere else. And he is 33 years old. I certainly don't think he's done by any means. And the way that he takes care of his body and all those things, I definitely think he will find a team to play for, even if he's just kind of going 1 or 2 year contracts at a time. Now, it's not a big cap hit for the Maple Leafs. Schenn only makes $850,000 this year, and like I said, UFA on July 1st. And I know that Toronto's doing some cap gymnastics regarding how they're going to set the roster. Matt Murray and a bunch of guys that could be moved as well. In fact, Kerfoot to the Canucks was rumored a couple of days ago. But for now, they pick up Schenn and his $850,000 cap hit, prorated, of course, for the last 2 months of the year. This season, Schenn has actually had quite an offensive kind of resurrection. In fact, at 21 points in 55 games, and remember, he sat out the last 4 for the Canucks, at 21 points in 55 games, that is his highest point total since, get this, 2011, 2012, where he had 22 points. And then the year before that, he had 22 points. So all Schenn has to do is get 2 more points before the end of this year, and he will have his highest point total ever. Yeah, just looking at ever. As a rookie, he had 14, then he had 17, then he had 2020, then he had 22 and 22, and then a bunch of not so offensive years after that. But this year, he has 5 goals and 12 assists, 17 points. Schenn, all his goals, I'm pretty sure, were scored from the blue line. I just can't picture him rushing the net. And the 17 assists, some of them were first assists, some of them were second assists, some of them were because his teammates deflected the puck in front of that. But regardless, 17 points for Schenn in 66 games. Sorry. I was reading the wrong line. He has 3 goals and 18 assists. He's got 21 points. I'm sorry. He has 21 points in only 55 games. So like I said, 21 points. He just needs 2 more to have his brand new career high. 3 goals, 18 assists. So yes, more assists than goals, but a really good offensive year for Schenn. And he also has 71 penalty minutes in those 55 games. We all love him as a leader. We all love him as someone who stands up for his teammates. And I love the way that he comes across in interviews, and I'm sure he is awesome in the dressing room. So Canucks fans, let me know what you think of this trade. I know, as we saw the returns for Timo Meier and Tanner Jeannot, I know in my head I was hoping, maybe this pick, maybe the returns actually going to be a tiny bit higher than a third. Maybe it'll be a second, or I knew it was going to be a first, or maybe it's a package of some sort. But no, there's no salary to retain. There's no extra sweeteners that had to go either way. It was a pretty simple 1-for-1 deal. Luke Schenn for a 3rd round draft pick. And that 3rd round draft pick is kind of what we expected. It's kind of the bar that was set right from the very beginning, and we end up getting it. Luke Schenn gets to stay in Canada. Hopefully that makes it a tiny bit easier for the way they're going to figure out the living situation over the next couple months with the inevitable and pending birth of their child. So a lot of things to digest here. Going to talk about it more tonight at 11 p.m. I hope you join me for my live stream. But for right now, I'd love to know what you think of this trade. What do you think of it for the Canucks? And what do you think of it for the Maple Leafs? Shout out to my sponsors, Van City Experts Real Estate, Perform and Transform, Personal Training and Weight Loss. And thank you, legendary Lucas Gates, legendary Justin Credible, legendary Andrew Chang, Hall of Fame and franchise members. And thanks to all of you. Always appreciate you. Never take you for granted. We're at 9928 in subscribers, so we're marching on to that 10K mark. Hopefully by the end of this week or the start of next week, we shall see. In the meantime, you can leave a donation. You can upgrade your membership. You can become a member. You can like the video. You can certainly subscribe and certainly leave a comment, your thoughts on this trade. Stay safe, stay healthy, take care of yourselves, and take care of each other. Have a great day. God bless, and go Canucks go.